Hey ChatGPT, assuming no universal basic income, how many people do you think in the next decade will lose their jobs and see massive drops in income and their ability to make money?
Assuming no universal basic income, yada yada, and that AI adoption continues at its current trajectory, yada yada yada, 20 to 30% of the global workforce is at high risk of job loss or severe income reduction by 2035 due to AI. 1.2 billion people. The cheerier predictions come from companies selling AI, governments trying to maintain calm, and economists who assume disruption always leads to rebalancing. But behind closed doors, many researchers are warning of mass underemployment, not just unemployment. Lots of people might work fewer hours in less meaningful jobs or simply drop out of the workforce.
Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. 50 years ago, the Eastman Kodak Company, known by most Americans as Kodak, was one of the biggest companies in the world, and it produced almost 90 to 95% of the cameras. Most of their income actually came from film, meaning they sold the film to go with those cameras. In 1970, a Kodak engineer built the very first digital camera, and he brought it to his superiors as the next big thing. His boss's response? "That's cute. Don't tell anyone." Kodak buried its head in the sand and a few decades later went bankrupt while other companies came in with digital cameras to own that landscape. And right now, at this moment, millions if not billions of people are burying their heads in the sand, knowing that AI is coming, knowing that it's 5 to 10 years away, but doing nothing to prepare because it seems too far out. It seems like someone will come in and step in and save them. That may or may not be the case. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 different things that you can do now to prepare and not be one of the billion people left struggling in 5 to 10 years because of this change in landscape. Number 1 is to start a business. Could be online, could be physical, could be a side hustle business, something that you just do in the evenings, but starting a business is the number 1 thing because business owners are likely who's going to make the most money and see the most advantages come from AI. See, in the past, business owners had to make the numbers work. They had to hire employees to do a lot of the work, and then they had to make more than enough money to pay all their employees and then also to take some themselves. Now, AI is going to take the place of many, many employees. And what this means for people that own the businesses is they're going to actually make more profits. It's going to be easier to make a profit. They're no longer going to have to worry about healthcare, 401ks, employees that can't work nights, employees that have families and need time off. They're no longer going to have to do that. And I'm not saying that's good, but I'm saying that's what's going to happen. And the business owners are who is going to make the most and be in the best place as AI steps in. 3 businesses that will either not be impacted at all by AI or that will be impacted positively by AI are drop shipping, audience building or content creation, and anything in the physical experiential world. If you're familiar with drop shipping, it's pretty much what every company does from Nike on down. Building products elsewhere, bringing them in, selling them for more. That's going to exist no matter what. People will always be buying products. People will pretty much always be bringing them in from outside countries. And whether you make a simple little drop shipping business or build a physical brand around it, that's always going to exist. No matter what AI does on the back end at warehouses and automation, there will always be a middleman and there will always be a front man or a business that's making money off of those transactions. Number 2 is building an audience, where you essentially find a platform online where you like to hang out, TikTok, Reddit, YouTube, whatever it is, finding a niche or a category that you like to talk about, and then building up a following by posting and talking about things that you like to talk about. Eventually, you'll be able to monetize that following through tons of different ways, and you'll be able to do this no matter what AI does. People will want to follow real people and connect with real people. And number 3 is any kind of business that teaches people and gives people an experience. Paintball, karate, artists, cooking, all these things that people are going to have a little more time likely to do, and you can make it an experience, take your passion, your hobby, and teach people in an experiential way, and you'll do very well. All right, moving on to number 2, you need to own assets. Specifically, you need to own physical assets. If there's one thing AI will not be able to replicate, take over, or do anything with, really, it's assets like land or real estate. There will still be people, there will still be more people, and those people will always be looking for places to live. If you combine that with the way that large investment companies are buying up real estate and land right now, you see a somewhat bleak future, and I think we're running out of time to own some portion of land or real estate, as both of these things converge. There's a lot of ways to get land or real estate for very cheap right now and have it pay for itself so that in 10 years you're able to own it and have cash flow coming from it and be able to own that forever. Buy some land, buy a piece of real estate, rent it out, Airbnb it out, do something to make it profitable or break even until the time comes, and you will be so glad in 10 years that you watched this video and did that. Number 3 is to either gain blue-collar job skills or find a way to monetize blue-collar jobs that are not going to go away. Now, if you're not familiar with the term blue-collar jobs, we're talking about all those local service jobs like plumber, handyman, electrician, HVAC, all these guys that are going around, and they really can't be replaced in the next few decades with any kind of robotic or AI software. Now, that means you could either gain these skills so that you have a backup to be able to do a job like that, because people will always be fixing their furnaces, they'll always be needing plumbers, they'll always be needing electricians, all that will continue on for decades and decades and decades. Or you can monetize blue collar. And what that means is you create a service-based business that helps blue collar workers get more clients and basically function and run their business. Now, I've got a couple videos about this, but essentially you're doing a local digital marketing agency and you're getting clients like plumbers, HVAC, and electricians, and they're paying you to run their marketing, create their websites, do all of that stuff. They'll be around for 30 years, which means the people that are running their back end and running their marketing and doing all that for them will also be around for decades and decades to come. And number 4 is owning these AI stocks. Now, you can feel free to disagree with the current model in America, but it is what it is, and disagreeing with it is probably not going to change it. There's 2 kinds of companies that are going to make an absolutely killing in the next decade with AI. One of them is companies that use AI to maximize their profits, to make a ton more money because they have much less expenses and they can do a lot more with a lot less. And number 2 is the companies that are the infrastructure of the AI, the hardware, the software behind it all. There's all this stuff that they're going to have to build up to create this massive infrastructure to run it. So what you'll see in the next 10 to 20 years is a lot of these stocks are going to blow up because these companies find ways to massively increase their profits with AI. Now, again, you can disagree with that model, but you can also partake in these profits by being an owner through stock in these companies. Now, I use an IRA with a brokerage called Interactive Brokers. You can do this how you want with a regular investing account, with some form of IRA, but you need to be taking place in this economic boom. Particularly stocks that are going to be advantaged by AI are a great place for you to do that. Number 5 is relationships. Now, it's slightly less traditional and it might sound kind of confusing, but I take my first 3 jobs that I got and all 3 of them were obtained through relationships, friends, connections that got me in the front door and got me moving. And in fact, last year, the Wall Street Journal put out an article that said that's the number 1 way to get a job is who you know, not what you know. Now, I hate networking. If anyone's ever met me at an event, I hide. I don't really love to go talk to a ton of people. It's just not my vibe. I'm a little bit awkward sometimes when talking to people that I have never met before. And so I tend to kind of just be a little bit reclusive. But that's not where I met these people that gave me jobs. I met them at hiking clubs. I met them at church. I met them at playing pickleball in my community. Basically just getting out there and making friends with people and making relationships. Not going out there and going to these networking events where everybody's just out there to get something and it's kind of that awkward vibe, but just going and doing things that you like and meeting other people and building up this network of people will be huge. And when things get rough, you never know when someone that you know will have access to some opportunity, and just knowing them will get you enough in the door to be able to take advantage of that opportunity. And you can do this online and you can do it in person. Build up your social profile, build up your social influence and your social network online, and do the exact same thing in person. And you'll be blown away by how much good and opportunity can come from building your sphere of influence that way. Now, if there's number 6, I want to know about it. You can hate these. I could be totally dead wrong on all of these, but if there's one thing that I am 100% positive about in this video, it's that there's going to be massive changes in the next 10 years, and they will absolutely negatively affect a lot of people in the job market. And if you're burying your head in the sand and hoping someone comes to save you, there's a good chance that's not how it plays out. Waiting and seeing is not a good plan. Look ahead, make a plan, be prepared, and you'll be just fine.